tells them to not be afraid. Does the resurrection specifically address in our lives today?
I was just thinking about what Anita always tells us is that because of the resurrection, everything changed. It's all about new life. And he had tried to tell them that, but they didn't understand it. And they still probably don't to a lot of degree at this point. But for us today, it's new life. I mean, and we shouldn't let things make us afraid, because he wins. And he wins. I mean, he's in control.
It's a brave thing, because we died with the Lord, we served Him and everything, and we know we're going to live for eternity.
Yeah. What kinds of fears? I was trying to think of something in addition, but that I think that's kind of sums it up better.
We were just talking about that in our lesson last week that we had with Anita. And it's like everything's new. It's new life.
And it may just be the uncertainty
Yeah.
of the unknown. But new life is good news.
Yeah.
Jesus meets the women on the road. How does this personal encounter reinforce the truth of the resurrection? So it says, they hurried away from the tomb, afraid yet filled with joy, and ran to tell the disciples, and suddenly Jesus met them.
He did rise. He's not dead.
That's just like, I can't remember I can't remember which account it is when Jesus says Mary, when he speaks to her.
Called her by name.
And what that must have felt like when he called her by name. If that was a comfort to her to be like, I know that. Sometimes when you hear that.
They would fall at his feet. I mean, they knew it was him.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they immediately began to worship him.
Did we get the wrong question? They're laughing at the storm. I wasn't sure if we got the wrong questions. The women respond by clasping his feet and worshiping him. What does this teach us about appropriate posture before the risen Christ? We would all do well to do the same.
I can only imagine the song. I can only imagine.
To me, they did the right thing, because He was their Lord and Savior and everything,
Yeah. And I feel pretty confident we will do the same.
That's right. Every will bow to Jesus someday.
So
It's like when Tom Grennan, who would say, if you see Jesus coming and you don't know who he is, there's no problem.
yeah, you don't want to be one who says, "Who's that?"
Right.
That's not where you want to be. Yeah. So talking about the guards' report and the conspiracy. Why do you think the religious leaders chose deception even after hearing the guards' report? And what does this reveal about the human heart? So basically
So they go back and they tell him exactly what happened.
yeah.
I think they were afraid that word got out that he really did rise, that there was going to be, they were going to come after them, they were going to lose their standing.
Right.
And there'd be
Yeah.
a revolt through the whole city.
Yeah, and they're trying to control the narrative. They want to control the whole situation, and if it takes money to do that, and it's kind of interesting that that they use money, you know, as the motivator for these guards, and of course the guards are like, okay, guards take orders, you
Well,
know.
the guards knew too, if they did, if, you know, they were standing guard and something happened to him, they were gonna die.
Yeah,
They were gonna
it
die.
would be their
So, you know,
lives.
Might as well take the money and run.
Yeah. Well, this looks like a good way out for them, doesn't it?
Yeah. Let's tell this lie.
Yeah.
It's only gonna cost you 20 silver.
Yeah. So the second part of that was, what does this reveal about the human heart?
Very selfish.
Very.
Greed.
Yeah, yeah. And not only about money, but the control. We want to control
Yeah, we want to be in control.
situations and the narrative and to be able to make everybody see it the way we see it. Especially the chief priests, because it says they devised, that the chief priests and the elders, and they devised that plan.
Well, and if it's the religious leaders doing this, then it was just gonna fulfill that he was who he said he was. And it just.
They're playing right into what he said
Yeah.
they would do. And that tells you a lot about the condition of the human heart, for sure. Yeah. So, very, very.
And they were, because there's a scripture where it says, it's in one of the Gospels, I think, and it says, they were afraid they were gonna lose their standing
Yeah.
and their temple.
Yeah.
And they were just like, no, we'll lose that, no matter what,
No.
No.
you know.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the
You
same
don't
thing.
want to lose your power and influence.
And they're the ones that had him crucified. So it's like, you know, and here he's risen. God's coming, you know, he's fulfilled what he'd been telling them when they were crucifying
Yeah.
him, you know.
Yeah,
And they're trying
plan
every way.
backfires.
Yeah, they're trying every way they can
Yeah.
to still to flip it in their favor.
That's right, but eventually it was gonna get out.
I've been scared to death of God.
Yeah.
If I were them, you know, because they knew the laws. And it happened. And so he proved that he was the Son of God. You know, it's like,
Yeah. Well, it tells you, again, that's why the second part of that question about what does it reveal about the human heart. Unfortunately, the human heart has
wants to control.
that controlling feature and the motivation of money to do it the way they want them to do it.
I wonder if they went to their grave with their story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
wonder if you wonder if
Did
you
they
could carry
ever-
that, if you could carry that your whole life and not tell somebody eventually.
Yeah.
Then the chief priests and stuff, they could have killed them off, you know, had them killed off pretty quickly too, you know,
Mhm. Yeah,
so they wouldn't spill the
true.
But I mean, the word was out, so.
the beans were spilled.
The beans were
There
spilled.
was no getting the genie back in the bottle.
Yeah, wasn't going back.
The leaders bribed the guards to spread a lie. What are some modern examples of people resisting truth because it threatens their worldview, their status, or comfort?
Happens every day.
Leaders, politics, people shock in for a certain position, office, or whatever. They say one thing and that leads to something else and something else and something else.
Yeah. Yeah, bribes are something that. Do you remember? When we were in,
I was thinking the exact same thing.
when we were in,
In America, I've never really.
well,
I mean,
it
it's
happens.
in forms,
Yeah,
but it's just smaller forms.
yeah.
But when we were in Romania, they would, like if you were on the train,
A bribe was expected
yeah,
to
They would
pay somebody
come.
off to do anything. If you like I remember we got on a train and there was we needed one more seat and we had tickets. We had the tickets. And Tom is showing the tickets, Tom Langley is showing the tickets to the person. But the person, all they had to do was,
and I'm
have
sure
somebody
they realized
move.
we're Americans.
Of course.
But they were like,
So,
where's the money? And I'll make it happen.
but you had tickets.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
But they would say no, like that's
Yeah,
not
they would
good
say that,
for
the
something.
tickets aren't good enough.
And so they
need-
would want you to pay them.
They wanted you to
Yeah,
pay
It
them.
happens a lot. Yeah.
It's expected.
Now you see why I don't want to go abroad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
Now
Tom,
that was like 30 years ago.
well, but still, it's the
Yeah.
culture.
Well,
Yeah.
the culture is so different anywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, the culture from here to California is two different things.
Sure.
So, do I have a desire? I don't have a desire to go to California. There's nothing there for me to see. I went there because Joseph was there at one time.
Yeah.
But as far as a desire to go,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to
But-
encounter all those cultures. I don't want to.
But that's funny you thought about the same
That
thing.
is funny.
But because it was so foreign to us
Fun.
that it was expected. And Tom was like, they always have their hand out. They always have their, he's like, because they
No matter
live there,
what.
they live there as Americans.
You don't have any rights anyway.
You just,
So what do? You give them a penny?
No, they can't
no.
lock you out that.
Do they know how much
nowhere.
money you have to give them?
I don't know.
They didn't really care. They
Yeah,
just
it
wanted
was,
you to give them some money.
it was just until they were satisfied.
It's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
When you say that was everywhere, I mean, what else?
Oh, just,
Like
everyday
even public
stuff.
restrooms, like they would have public restrooms, but if there was somebody there standing at the restroom who was like, or they would say, oh, you have to pay, to go into the restroom.
Yeah.
Just like, there you go. I mean, it could be, it's anything, anything. When you go to the market,
The
Yeah.
markets,
Yeah.
the prices aren't out there, so.
no, yeah.
Yeah, and it did always depend on who you were, and if you're
And they
you
control.
kind of stick out when you're a
Yeah.
white American.
Oh,
Even worse in Ghana.
Yeah,
Even
at
worse
least in,
than what?
Even worse in Ghana as far as sticking out.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Sore thumb,
yeah.
kind of like yours.
Yeah. Let's see. We covered that. Matthew says this story has been spread among the Jews to this day. How does this passage help you understand early opposition to the resurrection?
They just wanted to scotch it and stop it in any way they could
So
possibly.
Jews don't really believe Jesus. Does Jews not believe that Jesus rose from the grave, right? I mean, they're home.
Right.
They don't believe that. So.
Right. Well, they're still waiting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're waiting for the Messiah because they didn't believe Jesus was who he said he was.
Because of these people right here,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
leaders. In the beginning,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
religious leaders lied, paid off something. Man, I hate to be them and meeting Jesus.
But yeah, to create the story and say, here's what you're supposed to tell them. Here's the story. This is the story, and we're sticking with it. You're to say his disciples came during the night and stole him away while we were asleep. That's the story that they're going to stick with, and that's the report that goes to the governor.
Yeah, I've always wondered that. Because he said he's not guilty. Y'all are going to do it anyway, so you might as well.
And I'm gonna wash it.
But I've washed my hands of it. I wonder what he thought
When they come back
when
and
they
say,
woke him up the next day and or
Yeah,
2 or 3
there's-
days later and said, excuse me,
I wouldn't want to have been the person to tell him.
Yeah.
they might have sent one of those guards to tell him.
And of course, yeah.
But
And of course, you know,
Pilate ever believed.
I don't think, I doubt it. Because, well, or when he was told, he was like, it's not my problem. Yeah, not my problem. I washed my hands of it. Jesus meets the disciples in Galilee, and Matthew knows, but some doubted. What does this tell us about faith, even in the presence of the risen Christ?
Because it says when they saw him, they worshipped, but some doubted. So they're standing there looking at him.
they're calling, is this a vision or what? I don't know.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it says when they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted.
But then it also says, then Jesus came to them and said. So maybe he was kind of off to the side. I don't know.
Well, you know, they had faith and everything, but I guess I would say they just need to grow more and be stronger or something.
Yeah. Well, you almost have to think, you know, if there's doubt, you know, it could be everything from them saying, well, that's not really him. You know, that's not really him.
Well, this question here makes me think of, I thought it was Thomas.
So I touched-
And Jesus said, Thomas, follow me.
Because it's not I don't know this for sure, but it says the 11 disciples. So this was everybody, the 12 minus Judas. So this was the inner circle. It wasn't like it was just a group of.
But come on, we're human.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
If I would have doubt. And you don't. I do too.
I mean, one of the first things I would think you would be like, it's not really
It's
him.
not real.
Right.
This is not really him, or it's someone who looks like him. Yeah. Because there's still a part of you that is logical.
Yes, yes.
That's saying it's not possible. Yeah.
All you gotta do is look at the feet and hands.
But but when he walks in, evidently they don't see that.
If they're all held up, you know that.
Yeah. That should certainly.
I mean, there's not many people walking around with
Yeah.
a beautiful scar like that.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that should be pretty convincing.
That's solid.
That's funny. That's true though. Yeah, you're not gonna have a whole bunch of people walking around with that.
You would have believed immediately. You would have believed immediately.
And that's what, yeah. I mean, think about it.
No, you wouldn't.
Why not?
Because I know you.
Why not?
You would have said, no, that's not him.
I mean, if you could go up and feel that part and
But
see
you may
it.
not have seen him when he first
There's
walked
not
in,
many
because they'll
people
eat it.
think about it.
Maybe he
Walking
kept his
around.
hands in his pocket.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, just look at his feet. They didn't have cover-up shoes,
We had shoes on.
Sandals.
sandals, where you could still see them. Well,
Was his head prickled too?
Yeah, probably had some scars.
apart from the, yeah.
Where them doors
Uh,
cut his skin.
I'm sure we would have seen them too, right?
They've been hiding
Well,
for
it could have
days.
been him.
So, the commission, Jesus meets the disciples in Galilee, and Matthew notes, but some doubted. What does this tell us about faith, even in the presence of the risen Christ? Which we kind of just talked about that. Jesus begins the commission with all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. How does this shape your understanding of mission and Christian confidence? When it says all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me, authority is one of those things where people who have authority, you know they have authority. You can see that they have authority. And I don't really know what it is about that. And one of the few things that I can relate it or think about is when I worked at TVA, being downtown, you would see the CEO and you would see the board of directors and you would see them all the time. And it was just one of those things when you would get on the elevator and they're on there too. The way you felt, you're just like, don't say anything, don't do anything, you know. Don't do anything wrong. But that's a perceived something.
It is.
They're not doing that. I'm doing that. So when he tells them all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me, what does that do for them? What do you think that does for them?
Well, it makes they feel inferior.
But they also feel how? How else do they feel? They've been wanting.
Well, it should have made them feel like
Okay, they've got this.
this man they've been
They
following for
wanted
these 3 years.
the hierarchy of
It's
life.
true.
King, yeah, they wanted a king, and they have a king,
But they don't.
not the kind of king that they wanted.
It's hard for them to comprehend.
Yeah,
still.
but him saying all authority has been given to me, so
There's your king.
that should make an impact on them, because he's about to tell them to go out, and he has the authority to tell them to do that.
And it's like, to me, in a way, it's like he's not keeping it to himself or himself, but he's going to let them have some of this responsibility and everything too, and for them to be a part of it, and do his mission and his will and everything.
Yeah, what's interesting is knowing what he could have done. He had the power to make sure that everybody knew. He could do that himself. But instead he chooses to use
His
us,
followers.
his followers, to tell other people about it.
So in a
Why do
way,
you think that is? Why would he do that?
because so they can be the witnesses and testify to other people and everything what Jesus had done for them.
They're
And they want to
they're
share it to others.
participating.
Yeah.
They're participating in
And Jesus was
That
holding
good
it all
news.
to himself, keeping it to himself. He
Right.
wanted to spread it.
He
And
was
that's
trying to
the way
spread
to
it.
do it.
People wouldn't listen to
A
him.
lot of them
Yeah.
wouldn't. They didn't want to hear it.
And there were all those times where he would say, "It's not time. It's not my time.
Right.
It's not my time." Well, it's time.
Now it's
time.
Yeah. Are you ready?
You
And
better get ready because it's time.
Yeah.
but that authority, to me should have been a motivator for them.
Yeah. To me, yeah, it would have made them to get started on it. Yeah.
Kind of like Peter in The Chosen. Peter was raring to go.
That's right.
He's like, "Let's go.
Doesn't stop
Go. What are we waiting on? Let's
Right.
go."
Let's roll.
Yeah, the command is to make disciples, not merely converts. What's the difference?
You can baptize all day long, but they don't live it, and they don't know know the word
Right.
to repeat it.
So what
you
is
done,
it?
you just got people with.
What is it? What is a disciple then? When you think about the difference between a convert and a disciple.
Teacher.
Yeah. Because you're teaching somebody else to teach,
Right.
and they're teaching somebody else to teach. That's the basis, and that's the plan that Jesus was putting into play
Right.
with this commission is to make teachers make teachers, make teachers.
Doers.
Yeah, doers.
Be a doer
Not
of the
just
word.
somebody who says, I believe,
Yeah.
A doer
I
of the
believe,
word,
amen.
Not a hearer.
Amen,
Be with.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's good. What was the second part of that? What does disciple making look like in practical terms? We just did that. Because in practical terms, it's a teacher making another teacher. So that was the point. So baptizing in the name of the Father, of the Son, and the Holy Spirit reveals something about God. What does this triune formula teach us?
They're all
But still different.
yeah, but different too.
Yeah, it's both. It's both because the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, they each have a different kind of
Role.
impact or role, yeah. And they're all essential. All of them are essential. So to baptize people in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, what does that mean? What does that do for people? What do you think that means for people? And what does it reveal about? What does it reveal about God?
You can't have one without the, I mean, it comes as a whole circle.
And one way that I've heard, people talk about it is you're being invited to join that circle. So you're becoming a part of that Trinity, that unity, the oneness that you just talked about. That was one thing that Tom Grennan really emphasized a lot in his later years, was that oneness. And that's what we're being invited to be a part of, is that oneness.
We all have a part, a different part, but together.
Kind of like our
You can't
inside,
separate
we can't live without the heart and the lungs and the
You gotta have all those parts.
kidneys, you have to have all those parts.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just the same with our body here. We need all the parts, and everybody can't be doing the same thing.
Right.
And everybody
But in
shouldn't be
unity,
doing the same
we
thing.
can get a lot done.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it allows us to reach in a lot of different ways, besides a one-dimensional way. We can if everybody's just doing this, then this isn't getting taken care of, or that.
Other people getting left out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have that.
Hands and feet and toes.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Jesus teaches his disciples to teach everything he commanded. Which, when I think about that, I'm like, oh my gosh, how overwhelming is that? Teach everything he commanded. Which Yeah, which commands of Jesus do you think are the hardest for believers to obey today, and why?
So I guess it kind of goes back to the Sermon on the Mount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Sermon on the Mount is a very hard teaching.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of it that's it's like, oh,
Okay.
let somebody slap you in the face, turn the cheek, and you're
That's
like,
right. And then slap the other side.
you know, and that's just one little example.
But it, you know, it all starts with love.
Yeah.
And really, that's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, yeah,
To
bottom
love
line.
people as
Yeah.
To love people as yourself. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of the Shema.
It may be easy to love, but, you know,
outside the circle.
outside the circle is not easy to love.
Yeah.
And even inside the circle
Sometimes.
is hard.
And it's the same today.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And yet, when Jesus was asked, what was the most important of the laws, he said,
Love God, love others.
Love God.
Thy God with all their heart, all their soul, all their mind, and all their strength. And the second is like unto this, to love thy neighbor as thyself.
so that's what it boils down to. So when it tells, so that's what Jesus is telling his disciples to teach. And it's not so much words as it is doing.
Actions. Yeah. Put it into action.
And those actions, we can,
It's hard.
yeah, yeah, it is.
Because it's like there are people you know, just dislike, you don't get along with, you don't agree with them anymore,
Catherine, really?
You just gotta love them. You don't have to be around them.
So we're
If
supposed
they
to love
hungry,
them from a
feed them.
distance.
I do.
Sometimes you have to.
And you do. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
You love,
Loving somebody doesn't mean
you like,
Yeah, or you have to be their best friend.
yeah, it doesn't mean y'all like to be best buddies.
We have big
You
bumping
still got-
elbows all the time.
I
You
know.
hear them talk,
Yeah,
and you're just like,
I know.
you know, it's like fingernails on chalkboard, you know? When you hear somebody speak that you know you don't like,
Just don't go around them.
well, if you have to.
I don't know. I don't go around people I don't like. I mean, I avoid them. I don't
Right.
diss them. I mean, they're around, it really doesn't bother me. Because I've accepted the fact that
I think there are people in this congregation that
oh, sure.
Yes.
oh, yeah,
Yes.
you know? Well, yeah, because you
And,
know
and if you can't think of anybody, it's
You
probably
may be,
me.
it may be you.
And I said me. It may be
That's
me.
funny.
it may be me, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, there are people, I will admit, there are people that run me. Watching.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, that's one of those things, we can't just ignore it.
No.
We can't just brush it under the rug.
We
and think it's gonna go away.
have to, that
We
is
have to
our
interact with
challenge.
them at some time.
It is a challenge to
It's our challenge to forgive, you know, and that is
forgive,
not easy.
forgive and forget. Well,
Forgiving is not easy, but you know, I think that's when you get down to the nitty gritty, and it talks about he tells his disciples to teach everything he's commanded. That means all those times that they watched him reach out to the people on the fringe of society.
the prostitutes, the,
Yeah.
the people, Mary Magdalene, the demons, you know?
and he was crazy.
Her house, you know?
To touch the unclean.
Yeah, you know, to pick up, to touch the leper, you know, to, you know, people after people, person after person.
So when you,
Matthew,
that's
the
what you
tax
have
collector.
to,
you
yeah,
know?
that's what you have to think of when he talks about to teach everything he commanded. Teaching is not just words; it's the way you're treating.
But you know that, I mean, just like the religious leaders. He knew they were teaching wrong, and he didn't like them. He loved them, but he didn't like them.
Right. Okay.
They were doing. Yeah.
And he tried to stay away from them.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you've got to teach when you see or when you know someone is being deceived, you know, when they're being
Mistreated.
taken advantage of, or just flat out lied to.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to say and speak up and say, you know, you don't have to listen to that. That's not, or what you're being told is not true. You know, things like that. So it does include speaking up. It's not that you don't have to teach, but teaching comes in a lot of different ways, is what I'm saying.
And not only that, but if we don't step up and say something, do something, you know, then not do shows too. If we don't do anything, we do too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you can do it in love. You don't have to do it in
Right.
malice and hate or be mean.
So this, so he says, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. How does this promise give you boldness, comfort, or direction in your everyday walk?
Because
I believe in
he's in us. He's in us.
through the Holy Spirit.
And like he's closer than our breath, 24/7. So he's there.
This world is such a fair, and
It's a,
it doesn't care to hurt you. I mean,
it's
you
a
know,
dog eat dog.
and you know, when it comes down to it, I mean, it does. You have to. I mean, I have to make myself stop and think. God is in control of this situation,
I do try to remind
and
myself
He
of that.
has, you know, I have to stop. Let God have it.
Yes. I've had to do that.
You know, and that it's very hard to do.
Right. And I have to remind myself all the
But you
time.
know what gives me the most comfort every single day, and I know I've said this a million times, but I know God's right here.
Yeah.
Wherever I am, God's there.
But there's
And I-
so many times that you have to make yourself think that. You know, is there not?
Because otherwise you feel
because
like
I don't know because of things I've been through and challenges I've had to go through. I have to just. I don't think I have to make that. I automatically go. God's right here. I don't have to worry. God's right here. You know, and I'm going to get through this. One way or another, I'm going to get through this.
and that
God
comes
is right
and that comes through.
here. Age.
Well, it comes through age, experience, difficulty, strength, you know, stressful situations.
But I think we can still feel that way.
Yeah, I'm not
especially at
saying
the
people
beginning
can't.
of a situation. You're like,
It feels
what
kind
am I
of
going to do? And
Yeah.
how's this
hopeless, or
like when I found out my mom had dementia, I was just like,
yeah.
it's scary. But then I know God's with me, and I know He's going to. But it still can be.
It's all
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
And even when you know, but the way I have to make myself do is I know God's with me wherever I'm at. If I'm afraid, God's here. You know, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, but God's here.
Yeah.
You know, and I have to just, but I keep that constant.
So it's interesting because you have to. We tend to break up these verses because we have Numbers Bibles. They didn't have those. So it says, therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. So teaching them to obey everything I've commanded you. So that's a tall order.
Oh, it is.
To teach them and get them to obey. Not so
What
much
I've
what
taught
I
you.
have obeyed, you know, what I've come to know and believe in. I'm teaching them to do the same and to obey and believe the same things that I have learned to believe and obey.
Maybe this comes right after him coming right back to them, and they're going, it's not him.
Doubt.
It's not him.
Yeah.
You know,
But we have the whole Bible, so then it's like,
That's a good point, Steve.
yeah, I mean, you know, I mean,
It's like y'all having enough trouble. Y'all got to.
yeah, you know, and then you
now I
go
want
teach
you to
them-
do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now I want you to go teach somebody else.
Yeah.
And they're already doubting him.
Yeah, you know, you're like, wait a minute.
Didn't you say you were?
Yeah.
Great. Those are great points, but it's.
I wonder if he looked like himself when he walked up.
They said it was a
New body, right?
new body.
Yeah. I don't know.
So they probably,
But there, I have to think that there was something familiar.
oh, they had to be.
There'd be
Because they
something
wouldn't have started
familiar.
worship
Yeah.
immediately.
I would think it would just be in his voice, the way he sounded when he talked to him. And
Have
everything.
you ever come up on somebody and they go, oh, hey, and you're like,
I know that voice, I know them, but I have to think, and then their name comes to me.
oh, a voice or,
Yeah.
no.
Something
That
finally
happened to me
sparks it.
on the telephone back home one time. I thought, I know this person, and we kept talking, and I thought, what's their name? What's their name? I know.
Where do I know him from, you know? Where do I know him from?
Yeah, the other night at the funeral, I was talking to Charles Owens, and he was telling me about, he mentioned the guy's name and was talking about him and his son. And he said, yeah, he talks about you a lot. He said he remembers, your all's time while y'all were at TVA. And I'm
You're
going,
like, who in the world?
Who was he talking about?
That's right.
who is he?
Did you figure it out?
Yeah, I finally figured it out. I don't remember his name now. But I see his face, I know who he's talking about. But he worked in finance.
Oh,
He was somebody that worked in finance, but I was just like, and we saw each other every day at the Live Well, and, we crossed paths a lot. And I had forgotten at the time that I knew that he went to West End.
Oh, okay.
And, but-
Jim Fox? No, what Jim Fox was it?
No, this is a black gentleman.
Oh, okay.
And for the life of me, I can't remember what his name is. But yeah, when I felt that very same thing, I was just like, who are we talking about? Especially if they talk about me, like they know me, and I'm like, I don't remember. Oh, how are we doing on time? Are we over? All right. So you can review the rest of those for your homework. Can you believe we've gone all the way through Matthew? It's been, I think it's been good. I've enjoyed this format.
Camille, you ready to go home?
He's going to start the minor prophets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as I know, Mark's going to start doing the minor prophets next. Anniversary.
Today is our anniversry. We were married right on this stage 37 years ago.
Years.
Oh, my goodness.
Keep up the good work.
Well,
We'll try.
tomorrow is my birthday.
Oh, happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
And you're
I blessed
30?
this world with 70 years.
30s? You're in your 30s? 30? You're
I cannot believe
35.
my name. I cannot believe that name.
When it comes out of your mouth,
7, yeah, it's like 7.
Well, you don't look it.
no, you don't.
But I don't even